Hello guys, welcome back to LOI Fan TV. We're back again for another double game week 13 and game week 14. So yeah, another big weekend of action lined up. I'm once again joined by Ross, who's in Japan currently. So Ross, how are you?
Yeah. How are things, Luke? All good, man. Yourself?
Yeah, keeping well. Yeah. Just buzzing to see this, to be honest. Like I can't believe like after this weekend with 14 games in, it's
It's
almost you're
crazy.
nearly approaching the halfway mark, aren't you? Like
Yeah. It's flying, isn't it? Like it's really
we're
clock in
nearly
the thick
into
of it now. Like
we're nearly into half team of the season territory and all that
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
so
Looking forward to that.
oh, stuff. I know, it'd be good crack. But yeah, I suppose kicking things off and game week 13. First up, we have Bohemians who have the most wins in the league, playing host to managerless Waterford. Yeah, I'll let you take this one away. What do you make of this one?
Yeah, it's been a kind of a crazy few weeks, hasn't it? In terms of what we've kind of been going through. I suppose we've been a little bit critical of Bohemians and Alan Reynolds and the likes, and there's been bits and pieces going on, TikToks made and stuff. But I guess you have to give them credit. I don't know how they keep doing it. Like they won 0 down to Pats 90th minute, and they pull out of the bag and win the game somehow. That they just keep turning these games around. So you have to give them credit. I think they actually played well against Pats. I think Pats were a little bit cowardly in how they went about it. Nearly they went 1-0 up and sat back for 70 minutes. So I think Bowes absolutely deserved to win the game. You have to give them full credit. And yeah, Alan Reynolds is probably the most safest job in Ireland, is he, at this stage?
It's like a civil service job, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Ridiculous. Look at the league here, 2 points off top and sixth. Yeah, just
Mm,
first of all, that line itself is madness in sixth here, 2 points off top.
crazy.
Yeah, and yeah, no, by all means, fair play. He's turned it around. I saw some people making the Stephen Bradley in 2018 argument. Is he the man for the job? Is he the man to
Yeah.
bring glory back to Bowes?
I still don't think so. I still don't. I still think they'll plateau a bit. Like that's just the way I think it'll happen. But they have excellent players, so like it's not a huge surprise that they will pick up wins along the way. But I think that a different manager would take them to a next level with a couple of decent additions and stuff, and new director of football to get the recruitment right. I think they have the potential to go to a different level. But if he's getting wins for the minute, listen, I don't know where they want to be right now in terms of how much they can spend with the stadium coming up and everything. So maybe they're just happy enough to just kind of maybe totally will challenge for Europe eventually. But it's sorry, it's so tight. Like a couple of results, like as Bows have had in the last few weeks, they're right back in the mix. A couple of bad results, they're right back down there again. So it's so hard to know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just can't help but feel they had one of the best managers in the league in their dugout that they be in a title race properly. I know they're only 2 points off top now, but like they're very inconsistent. And
Yeah,
sure, look, like they could beat Waterford and potentially go top if results went their way. But like this league is just this league's sort of topsy turvy until November, and that's just a fact.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird one. And then obviously Waterford on the other hand, beating an informed Derry 2-1. Yeah, they're without a manager, and yeah, I don't even know where to start with this one. It's a mad time in Waterford, isn't it?
How are you meant to predict these games? Like when something like that comes along, like Derry in good form going into Waterford, can't buy a win, can't buy a goal, conceding four, three, four, 5 goals every week, and then they go and win it. Like it's impossible to call these games, isn't it? Like you just don't know what you're going to get every week. And I suppose I think I touched on it maybe a little bit in terms of I was expecting to see a bit of a reaction with Keith Long gone and a new manager. Sometimes you can get the interim manager coming in and players can turn it on a little bit and stuff. And we probably did see that last week. Tough game to call. Like you expect Waterford to be up for this, and they go to Bows. And they'll probably make it difficult for Bows, but I still think Bows will have enough quality to beat them. I'll probably go I could see it being similar enough to the Cork game they had a couple of weeks ago, and maybe winning it 1-0, maybe a little like towards the second half, just nicking a goal and winning 1-0, just with the quality they have in the final third. So I'll go for Bows to nick that one.
Yeah, I'm looking at this fixture, and on paper you think Bowes would win it, but I feel like it could be a bit of a weird one. Like results
Mm,
have been.
yeah.
Go 2-2. 2-2. I think there'll be goals in it. I just think it's just a weird. There's actually no logic behind this prediction.
No,
I'm
no.
just throwing one out there. But I was looking at the Waterford manager search, and obviously Rory Higgins was linked. He's now potentially nearly. I don't know if it's been announced yet, but he's going up north. And then yeah, like kind of there was outside options linked, but the main one that kind of stood out for me was Stephen Rice. Well,
That'd be a good appointment, I think.
I really think if they got Stephen Rice, that'd be a great appointment because he's been in and around the Ireland setup, like a really solid League of Ireland playing career. And I
Yeah.
think if they want to stay up, someone like that, a young, promising coach, within the setup to kind of come into Waterford and apply his trade, I think that'd be a really good one. What do you make of that point, potentially?
Yeah, you just worry about if it's the right move for him to kind of take that first step in his managerial career. Is at the right club right now? It seems like a bit of a mess kind of thing going on. As you touched on the Fleetwood stuff last week, they're in a bit of trouble themselves financially. Will he have much control over recruitment and stuff? You just wonder, would he be better off waiting for? I think he'd probably be in a decent position to get a Bowes job, to get a Rovers job if something came available in the future. So is that the right move from right now? I'm not convinced, but I think if Waterford were to get him, it'd be great for them from their point of view.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, by all means. But yeah, next up, moving over to Turner's Cross, Cork City are playing host to Shamrock Rovers. Uh, yeah, Shamrock Rovers played yourselves last Friday in Tala 2-all draw. Yeah, kind of topsy turvy game. Kind of Rovers are winning, Shells are winning, and it just
Yeah,
maybe a draw with a fair result there. And then in relation to Cork, yeah, a 1-all draw away to Sligo. So look, not the worst result for them. Just kind of picking up a point there, and then off they go. Yeah, the Cork are sitting in ninth place, 3 points ahead of Sligo, and a win
mm.
or a result here potentially could bring them ahead of Waterford into eight. So yeah, what did you make of, I suppose, first off with Rovers? What did you make of that game on Friday?
Yeah, right. It's kind of, I suppose, from Rovers' point of view, it's a frustrating few games, doesn't it? In terms of, not that they're, I suppose, outside of the Bows game, I think the Pats and Shells game, you played quite well in patches, and it was definitely a bit more about just Jack Burns getting going again and stuff. So outside the Bows game, the Pats game, and the Shells game, you would have liked to have picked up at least one win from those three, kind of thing. But like, it's probably disappointing to get 2 points from a possible nine, from those three, especially against kind of rival clubs. So a little bit of frustration there from Rose's point of view. I don't know. Is it a kind of a final third issue? Is it a defensive issue? Do you have a kind of a feeling on it at the moment? Is there a kind of a take within the fan base right now in terms of how the feeling is?
It's a weird one. Like we've taken 2 points out of nine, as Jack Burns said after the game from Dublin derbies, and like to be fair, I think like I'm looking at those games. I feel like we should have at least take like by calling a spade a spade. I feel we should have taken 7 points in those games. Like we're
Mm.
beating Pats in the 90th minute, and we were a better team in that game. Should have won. We're 2-0 up against Bows. At
Yeah,
that point, they were singing about their manager getting sacked. And then against yourselves, look, you take a draw, but you kind of watch back that game, and Michael Noonan has a 1-on-one, Danny Grant has a 1-on-one. Both of them are missed.
yeah.
And it
And
probably
Shells
is
are
a bit.
missing Paddy Barrett. It's a good chance to get the win
Yeah,
over them, like in the season.
no,
You know.
it is. And look, we're just giving stupid goals away. Like in theory, if you score 2 goals against Shell, 2 goals against Pats, you hope you win the game, and we're not. We're just giving away silly goals. So it's a bit of both. We kind of need that clinical striker, and on the other hand, we need to not be giving up sloppy goals. So it just kind of feels like this is second half syndrome we have going on at the moment. Like we come out great first half against yourselves, and then we come out we're 2-1 down, and then same with Bows, and they win the game. So yeah, I don't know what it is. We seem to be playing
Yeah,
really well in stints, but we just can't keep it over a 90-minute course. So look, we're 1 point off
yeah.
top. It's hard to complain, but on the other hand, we probably should have way more points on the board than we do.
Yeah. It feels like probably from a lot of teams' point of view, there's a lot of missed opportunities so far. A lot of points left out there, and so it's not been catastrophic for anyone, but it's not great either because you're kind of 1 point off seven, but 1 point off top as well. So it's a funny one. But yeah, I think for Rovers, it's weird because I think the defensive record had been good going into the Pats game, and it's conceded two, 3-2 in three games, like well, that's seven goals, whatever it is. So I think they conceded six before that and nine or something like that. So like it's been a mad couple of weeks for them. So you'd like to think they'd be kind of focusing on a clean sheet here. I'd expect Rovers to get back to win away. I think having too much quality for Cork, who are still obviously missing a couple of key players and a bit out of sports themselves. Cork be disappointed with that Sligo result just in terms of, I think Sligo scored a late equaliser. I think it was a 90th minute equaliser, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. So it's a bit of a shame from them. But I think Rovers will be too strong for Cork. I'll go 2-0.
yeah, that'd be a good result. I'm just conscious of Turner's Cross. I just think, like, I remember the last time they were up, we lost down there. It could be a bit of a banana skin, but I just think we'll have enough. I'm going to go 1-0. I think it'll be narrow enough, but we'll just have
Mm.
enough quality to see it through.
Yeah.
But yeah, so next up, we're in the Brandywell. We have Derry City playing host to Shelburne. Yeah, Derry with a shock loss to Waterford, and then obviously Shells came to Tallinn and drew. So I suppose, how do you see this game going?
Tough to call. Obviously, fond memories from the final day of the season last year. Harry Wood, late winner to win the title. So fond memories. big issue for Shells is conceding goals at the moment. They kind of touched on it. I'm not playing too badly. We're scoring goals. Meepo's looking much better. But it's the defensive thing. I think Paddy Barrett had a fitness test before the Rovers game, which is a good sign that he might be back this week. My only concern is, do you bring him back against Derry on that pitch? I don't think Duff will risk that. I don't think it's the time to bring him back. Maybe save him for the home game on Monday. So I think he might just opt to maybe have him on the bench, but I don't think it'll be starting on that pitch. I just don't think it's a good idea. So it's a tough game. I think we're going to concede goals again, but we're a draw FC at the minute. I think we've only lost one game this season, but we've drawn 7 or something. So I think we could draw again, 1-1. I think.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, like Shells from watching them. Like to be fair, they're keeping the ball way better this year.
Yeah,
And like Meepo, like you can just see he's if once something clicks on him, he'll score multiple goals a game. It's just I think Sean Boyd kind of put it well. Like Sean Boyd was saying, when he gets the ball, he's like, right, can I score or can I put the ball to somebody in a better position? Whereas Meepo, he says me when Meepo gets the ball, he just thinks, can I score?
yeah,
So
yeah,
so yeah, like well, once Meepo kind of gets that, I think as we touched off, like he's a top
yeah,
striker, and even showed that in the Rovers game with his finish.
yeah.
But yeah,
Like
Derry will look.
he's been a hit and miss so far, and he still has 4 or 5 goals, I think. So like he's gonna hit 15 plus easily, I'd say.
Yeah, 100%. Once he stays fit, he'd be fine. But yeah, no. With Derry on the other hand, like it's just so weird. They're weird. You just can't really
Mm.
predict them. They string 2 or 3 results together and they lose to a manager as Waterford. So yeah, to be honest, the draw here looks solid. I might go for a bit of a stalemate here. I might go for a 0-0. I just think, yeah, that pitch, Shells are kind of really be focused on not conceding, and Derry, I don't know. I could see them cancel each other out a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I suppose then moving on to showgrounds, we have Sligo Rovers, who we just touched off with a 1-0 draw against Cork, playing host to Drogheda, who went to Galway and lost 2-1. To be really disappointed with that, but despite the result, they're still top. So the show
Mental.
goes on.
Yeah, it's funny when I kind of was wondering when that run would come to an end, and it felt like Galway way was that tough fixture where like, it's kind of be a big test from. To be a little bit disappointed with that, but I think they're not going to win. They're not going to get results every week, and it was kind of bound to happen. But the results around them kind of weren't too bad either, so they'll be happy enough with that. Tough. I think this could be a tough enough test for them. I think like Sligo is obviously a different kind of test than a Galway. Sligo like to keep the ball a little bit more and play a little bit more kind of proper football kind of thing, or whatever you want to call it. So it's going to be a different type of test for Kevin Doherty, but I think probably more suited to it. And I think they probably have a stronger side than Sligo at the minute. So you fancy Drogheda to win this, but it's tough, isn't it? Like Sligo can turn up at home, especially at home. I feel like they've a decent enough home record. They've had a couple. I think they've beat yourselves there. And they obviously drew last week, so you'd fancy them to get a result, but I think I might just go for Drogheda to get back to winning ways and nick it 1-0. But it could really go like I think a draw is probably the safe shout, but I'm just going to go for Drogheda to nick it.
Yeah, like you kind of touched off it, like Sligo, they like to play good football. Drogheda don't really want the ball, like they can win a game
No,
without having it, so it might suit
yeah,
them. They'll invite Sligo in, they'll take them off of Warren Davis and so on. So yeah, I think Drogheda will win this game. I'll probably go for 2-1 Drogheda. I think they might just have enough quality to get 3 points on the board and stay top.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, kind of lastly, final game of the week. We have Galway United playing host to St. Patrick's Athletic. St. Patrick's Athletic playing host to Galway. Second v third. Yeah, as you said just there, Galway beating Drogheda 2-1 at home. Great results. And then Pats on the other hand will be really disappointed after they're giving up a
You can say
lead
that again.
in the 90th minute. So yeah,
Yeah,
this is a mad one. Pats, like you've called it in a sense, but like yeah, third place. I'm saying about Rovers being top. Pats should be top.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, what you think of them?
I think did Forrester go off injured as well. I think he might be out for a little while as well, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
which is a big blow for him. I think he's kept him ticking this season. And he's been in good form lately, scoring a few goals. And in Cork, I think he scored last week as well, the panel against Bowes. So Aidan Keane is obviously out for a good few months, which is a big blow. Amelia hasn't really got up and running. I think Carty's back in the team, but he's not the player that Keane is really. So Pats is looking a little bit like they're not blowing anyone away. They're not playing that well. It was a really disappointing performance against Bowes, to be fair. Like on 1-0 up, you think they kind of kick on and try and get a second, whereas they just sat back and tried to sit on it against Bows, who are kind of like the side that can be got at. Like defensively, they're not in the best place. Um, they can be got at a little bit, so they fully deserve to lose that game. Bows absolutely deserve to beat them. So, this is a tough game for Pats. Like, can they go and break down a Galway side without Chris Forrest in the team, without Aidan Keena there to kind of pull a bit of a moment of magic out of thin air? It's hard to kind of see it, to be honest. I could see this being a 0-0.
Yeah, yeah, I can definitely see a draw here. Yeah, I just don't really fancy Pats in these nitty gritty games. Like, I don't know what it is.
Do
Like,
they have that fight? Do they have that desire, that bit of passion, or are they just kind of techie, ticky tack ballers? Like,
like they have some great performances this season. Like Joseph Mang's having a cracking season. He's making some unbelievable saves, and like I saw people
mm,
making their first round of League of Ireland games. Team of the season, and Joe Redmond's and everyone. So like he's playing well, and look, you have like one or two others, but like I just feel like there's players that hide in the team. Like I suppose we were to
mm,
reflect on the back end of last season. You know, we had Mulroney, Delbazzetti really playing unbelievably, and I haven't heard too much from this season. I don't watch too much of Pat, so I can't
no,
property, but I just feel that there's players in that starting 11 that aren't pulling their weight, and it's shown with the results. So yeah, you'd fancy Pats to win this game, but on the other hand, you wouldn't. So I'm probably going to join
yeah,
on the draw. Like I think there might be goals in it. I think I might go for a 2-all draw. And then Galway on the other hand. Like had the most informed striker in the league. Like sure you can speak on him well. He
that's
scored two
true.
goals for Shells, but yeah, he's
Yeah,
cracking. He's in cracking form, isn't he?
oh, he's flying. He's flying. I think he touched him last week, funny enough, and then he went and scored another two again. So, top goal scorer in the league, I think with seven, I think it is. Yeah, he's just flying. You kind of forget. I think you said he has 11 caps for New Zealand. Like he has pedigree behind him. I think he wants to get into that World Cup squad for New Zealand. Partnering up front with Chris Wood be something else. But yeah, he's flying, and it's just a case of if Galway can get the ball to him in Pats, and if Joe Redmond can keep him quiet. I think that'd be an interesting battle. Um, Between those two and be a test of Moses Dore's credentials as much as it is Joe Redmond. So be a good little battle, one to keep an eye on for sure. And it is a bit of cutting edge that Galway have not necessarily had in the last couple of years. So it makes them a really interesting proposition for the season. That they will definitely be pushing for kind of European place this season, you feel.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with that. Yeah, I suppose moving on then to the Monday ties. Starting off, then we have Sligo Rovers playing host to Drogheda. Sorry, no, I'm touching off it again. Yeah, starting off the Monday games, we have Drogheda United playing host to Cork City.
Mm.
I'm looking at this and I'm thinking Drogheda could get 6 points from this weekend. Couldn't they? Like, it's mad.
It is scary, isn't it? It is kind of scary because they had a good run against, or they had to run the tough games with I think it was Shells and Pats, and the last kind of double bank holiday weekend or whatever, and they drew both games, which was kind of grand. And then this weekend, they have a good chance to get six on the board. So if they can do that, they'll be in a fantastic position. And you kind of get to that point where you're at the halfway stage and they're top of the league, and you're like, Jesus, like how long can they do it for, kind of thing. So, yeah, I can't see any other winner than Drogheda in that one, really, to be honest. I think yeah, 2-1 maybe. Cork maybe Nick one, but yeah, 2-1 Drogheda.
Yeah, solid that. Yeah, I'm gonna go a bit more convincing here. I just think Cork will. I don't know. I think they're a bit out of ideas and going up to Drogheda. I think there'll be too much of them. So I'll go 3-1 Drogheda. And yeah, that if those predictions come true, it's
Mm.
6 from Drogheda, and they're probably a little bit of a gap will have developed, knowing how the other results tend to go. But yeah, next up then we've Galway United playing host to Bows, and yeah, this is another one. Like on paper, you'd fancy Galway, wouldn't you?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's one that's kind of tough, though, isn't it? Like you just don't know what you're gonna get from Bows. I think on a Monday night though, down like in Galway and stuff might be a kind of a chilly evening. Will they kind of fully fancy it? Will Galway be able to capitalise on it? Obviously, Galway beat them 2-0, I think, a daily amount relatively recently, so you probably would fancy Galway to have enough, but to go Bows are so hard to call. I think Bows do step it up in Dublin derbies. They tend to do that, don't they? Really. So, I think this might be the type of game where they kind of plateau a little bit. The kind of peaks and troughs of the season. So I think I fancy Galway. I don't want to.
Yeah, you took the score prediction out of my mouth. Yeah, I feel the same. I just think it'll be it'll just be it's just not an ideal one, is it? Galway away on a Monday, you're just like, oh,
Mm.
keep it. So yeah, I couldn't. I think a draw here for Bows would be a great result, but I think that they get it probably not. I'm gonna go. Just be different. I'm gonna go 2-1 Galway. But yeah, I can't see, to be honest, Galway are like by far the favourite in this game. So yeah, But then moving on to Talca Park,
Yeah.
another game you'd assume that would go plain sailing is Shells playing host to Waterford. Yeah, do you think they'll win that game?
Yeah, yeah. You think he'd be playing Spain, but we've had a couple of them, like the Cork game at home that we drew. So like, it's no such thing as a plain Spain game anymore. But I think that's, especially if we draw with Derry on the Friday, that's like must win territory. Like that's, if you want to keep pace with the early setters, like that's a must win game, and you'd like to think we can. I don't know if he'll rotate much. I know Ali Q's been playing well recently. Want to maybe get him into the team. I think that'll be a game we see Paddy Barrett come back into the side. Fingers crossed. So that'll be a huge boost as well. And maybe go back to the kind of forward to back formation and really kick on a little bit. So yeah, I'd like to think we can win that relatively comfortably. I got 2-0 Shells.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think Paddy Barr coming back would be a huge boost for the squad. And then, yeah, they have the squad there to kind of rotate, make 6 or 7 changes, whereas Waterford probably don't. You'll probably see a bit of fatigue in that game. I'm going to go for a really
Yeah,
convincing Chelsea win here. I'm going to go 3-0. I think they'll really put down a marker here, especially if they don't win against Derry. I think, the pressure will be on, and I think they'll rise to it. But yeah, I suppose then
yeah.
moving on.
4 points, not bad weekend for them. Like.
Yeah, no, you take it. You take it, to be fair, especially with how things have been going in
Yeah.
the league. But yeah, I suppose then
Mm.
moving on to Tala, a bit of a controversial one. Shamrock Rovers playing host to Sligo. I saw there's been a controversy on Twitter in relation to the fixture time. It was initially supposed to be a 5 p.m. kickoff, and now it's at 7. And Sligo fans are complaining because obviously finishes at 9, and getting back to Sligo is a bit harder at 9 than it is at
Yeah.
7. So yeah, what you kind of make of that kind of controversy? Like, is it on telly? Is that why it was rearranged?
I haven't. I hadn't even heard the controversy, to be honest. But that is a bit of a nightmare for them. To be fair, like getting back,
Yeah.
you'd be getting back at midnight nearly probably at that stage. Work the next day, so yeah, it's a pain in the hole really for fans. Probably made arrangements and all in advance and stuff. So yeah, no, maybe it is telly. That probably is the reason. It could be on Virgin, but yeah, big chance for, in terms of the game, big chance for Shamrock Rovers to get 6 points on the board this weekend, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's important. I just look at that Cork game and I just get a bit worried when I see that Monday game because you could just see Rovers drawing in Cork and then beating Sligo. But yeah, 6 points is a must, especially after kind of our underwhelming Dublin Derby performances. But yeah, to be honest, that's a big pitch. We actually owe Sligo one after that result down in Sligo as well, so that'll be probably Stephen Bradley's team
Yeah,
talk as
big time.
well. Yeah, and as a kind of similar enough to the Waterford situation with Shells, like Waterford can't really afford to make any changes, same as Sligo, whereas we can maybe rotate it a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
I said
yeah,
there'd be goals in this. I'm gonna go with a 4-1, 4-1 Shamrock Rovers.
yeah, yeah. Did I put a prediction for that? No, I don't think I did.
No, no.
Uh, I'll go. I'll go 3-0 Rovers. I think I keep a clean sheet.
Hopefully, we're due one. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, finally then, this is a result you just don't know what will happen. In Derry City play host to St.
Yeah.
Pat's. Like I actually roll the dice because I don't know
Yeah.
what's going to happen in this game.
No, no, it could literally definition of go. It probably could be that could be the tie. Obviously, Derry Shell, big weekend for Derry. Actually, big test of Derry's credentials. Shells on the Friday, and Pats on the Monday.
Yeah.
If they even got 4 points somehow from those two, they'd be probably delighted. You'd imagine. I think they can beat Pats at home. To be honest, on a Monday evening. Well, Pats fancy that. I don't know, isn't it, on that pitch? Oh, Forrest and O'Keefe, as we touched on before. That could really go either way. But I actually fancy Derry maybe with Gav White, Duffy. Did have a little bit more cutting edge and kind of players in form than Pat. I didn't see Derry against Waterford. Obviously, they must have been quite poor for that result to have happened. But maybe at home they'll have enough just about them, just to enough quality just to maybe beat Pats. So I'll go. I'll go two. I'll go to, actually no, draw 2-2. Change my mind.
Yeah, he took the results out of my head again. Like it's just I suppose we're talking about like obviously reflecting the last 2 games, Shell at home to Waterford on the Monday, Rovers at home to Sligo. Like that weekend for Pats is just the furthest thing from ideal. You're playing an informed Galway on the Friday, at home granted, and then
Yeah,
you have to go to Derry on the Monday, and Derry have 2 back-to-back home games, so they'll be well rested. This is not ideal.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If I was to imagine Pats winning the league this season, which I predicted at the start of the year, I'd feel like they need to take 4 points from these 2 games. Do I think they do? Probably not. Yeah, I think there'd be goals now. I might just go. I might just go for a bizarre result. We're going to go 3-0. I think it's just going to be one of those games to
Three.
watch. Oh, you get. I think it'd be game of the
Yeah,
weekend. I think this is game of the weekend because
game of the weekend.
fun.
Yeah, it could well be. It has a few goals all over. To be fair, I could definitely see a few going in. But yeah, I think yeah, big pressure on both sides there. I think to kind of really make a statement to that stage. And coming up to the halfway mark, like it's really anyone's league. Like,
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like there's what 3 points between first and seventh. Has there been I suppose from your perspective, has there been any like standouts so far this season that you kind of really impressed with? Obviously, the draw the story, the Galway story, but who for you in the league this year have you been like wow, like the main talking point?
probably those two. Yeah, you would
Yeah,
think kind of in terms of who's kind of shocked you. The other kind of people up there, you kind of would have thought. So, yeah, Moses Dyer, I think is probably the story of the season for me in terms of kind of an unknown entity coming into the league and really kicking on. I think he's been the main talking point, being top goal scorer, and he looks like he's not slowing down anytime soon.
yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, for me, definitely draw it in the talk when like what Kev Doherty's up there, so it's going full time. Like I remember I put them eight at the start of the year, and I thought I was being kind to him because like, look, he's proven by winning the cup, he can get them out of trouble. When on paper, the squad probably looked like it was going to be in trouble. So yeah, to have them first, it's just outrageous. And then obviously Johnny
Yeah,
Caulfield, they're recruiting up there, like they've gone left field again. And they've pulled it out of the bag. So yeah, like it's just if you would have
unbelievable.
said to anyone after 12 games that the top two would be drawn and
Yeah,
going, like you'd be like, oh, here
it's
we go
crazy.
again, another
Yeah,
mad
it's
year.
mad, isn't it? Yeah, and it could well be. It could well be like
You never know. You
could
never know.
be a
It'd be
mad
great
winner.
for the neutral, but and
Absolutely.
for the anti Dublin club establishment,
Yeah,
it's great. It's great as well.
yeah.
But yeah, guys, there we have it. So game week 13 and 14 predictions and preview. Yeah, look, if you're new, please subscribe and let's try to get to 30 likes this week. We'll put a timestamp in as well for the Monday games. So if you're looking at this after Friday, we can just go into the comments and have a little look and click ahead. So yeah, Ross, thanks very much.
Thanks, Billy Luke. Thanks for watching, guys. Take
Cheers.
it easy.